Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're taking a look at the game Chronicles of Light, Darkness Falls Disney Edition.
Yep, so we are going to be playing as one of the four heroines trying to save the world from darkness and bring light back to this beautiful world. So, if that sounds like something you might want to play, then just keep watching. So in Chronicles of Light, you can play as one of the four heroines. You can play as Violet from The Incredibles, Maid Marian from Robin Hood, Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and Moana from Moana.
Yeah, kind of the full gambit of older and newer films.
Yes,
yeah.
starting like from the 70s all the way up to the present with Moana. So very exciting. So in the game, you have to do 3 things in order to win. This is going to be a cooperative game, so it's going to take everybody at the table working together in order to win. Everyone's going to have a quest that you have to complete. You have to defeat the shadow creatures, which are coming out onto the board, and you have to defeat the vortex, which is the thing causing all of this. So Jonathan, how do we do all that?
Yeah, so honestly, this was one of those games where it was confusing me way more than it should have the first time that I played it. And that's because it is so open to kind of your own interpretation, your own sort of style of how you want to play. So there is this action board that's in the middle. This is probably the most unique thing. We each have these 5 action tokens, one of which is our superpower, which is locked at the beginning of the game. You only get this once you've completed your quest. And then all the other ones, basically, you can just in any order cooperatively choose to start placing your pieces here. I could place mine, you could place yours, we could both move to some location. And if you are on a space with those shadow creatures or with quest items that you need, so if I'm Belle and I need to collect the fragments of my scroll, or you need to collect a rope to go save the queen, then you can just do those things at any time. So that means that I could battle shadow monsters at my space. If there's another player there, they could battle them with me. We use these dice, which the risk to do it more than once is that there are damage on the dice, and you get to reroll one of them, but you're taking up to 2 damage and you only have 3 health. So you'll want to not push it too much.
Yeah, so every time that you do bring that health all the way down, you're going to take a health down from the team's collective health.
So we have this track that we're going to be tracking.
Yeah.
Now, once we get to 6, we get to keep doing the rest of our free actions until we're out of things that we want to do, and then the darkness falls. You're going to have these cards that come out. There's going to be cards unique to the characters that we're playing, as well as a couple central ones, and that is going to cause the vortex to go somewhere else on the board.
Yeah, so a big thing with this game is that it doesn't have turns in the classical sense that you would think of in the game. As he was saying, each of us have the option to play one of our tokens, but there's only going to be 6 that are played. Now that might mean a majority of those tokens might be Maid Marian's, or or she might not have any tokens on the board that turn. It's up to the group to decide what is going to benefit everybody. Now they are able to do this without quarterbacking, because each round this is going to pass to a different player, and they're ultimately going to be the ones that make the final decision on what is best for the group.
So when I start spiraling and rolling the dice over and over again, you get to say, "Stop!" in the name of my Crystal First Player marker.
Yes, I was I understood when we were playing this yesterday. I was like, there's a reason this exists, because to stop people like you. But so we each are going to have quests that we are going to have to complete. They're going to involve doing some sort of thing around the board. A lot of it,
pick up and deliver.
Yeah, a lot of it's pick up and deliver, and those quests can change each game. So I think there's up to 4 for each character that you're going to be able to choose from.
Yeah.
So you have to complete those quests, and then there's also going to be those shadow creatures. You want to talk about them?
Yeah, basically you have these shadows of bad guys from your various different games. I believe the Underminer was one of Violet's tokens.
Yeah.
These fun villains from the games. And basically you go up to them, you hit them with dice. If there's another player there, they can help. It gets a lot more interesting as the game goes on, because I have this catapult where I can just lob 2 damage over after the dice have been rolled, even if I'm not at that location. We also have various different other abilities that allow us to help out from other parts of the board as well. And then you got to make the choice whether you're going to move or whether you're going to heal, which can get really challenging, and say, am I going to bide my time and let the vortex spin around? Eventually we will defeat the vortex, so we can weaken it from 6 to 4 health by hitting it for 6. That will make it so that those Darkness Falls cards that come out are going to be weaker and do less things. But once it's on the 4 side, we're all going to have to team up at the same place. We need to have completed both of our quests, or all of our quests, to be able to even start hitting it. we can defeat the vortex and make it a lot easier to win the game.
So this is, I would say, a family cooperative game. So it is going to be on the easier side as far as cooperative games go. That being said, I think it's an amazing introduction to cooperative. There's lots of, like, it really teaches you down to the basics. And this system right here, where there's only 6 actions, and then but you can do so much with it, and it doesn't have to be each person, I think is a really unique aspect to the game.
Yeah, it is. I think about games like Pandemic, and it's like, okay, I got my action points, I got my turns. This is like, I want to hit him. Well, I want to hit him again. Well, I missed, so I want to hit him again. Oh, can I pick up that thing now? Sure. I mean, you can do as much as you want to do until there's nothing left to do, which I think is cool. This gives you a hard constraint. You know, you got to put your 6 pieces on here, and then once we're done, we draw a card and put it out. But it really lets people probably do the things that they're going to ask to do anyways in a family situation. So I think that it's designed really well for that.
And I think everyone playing together and then there not being a specific turn also really allows it for those younger people to be able to enjoy the game as well, because there can be an older person that or someone that's really good at more familiar with these type of games to be able to jump in and help them. Now, I will say it is swingy when it comes to the dice. So a lot of this is going to rely on dice rolls.
I just kept taking damage and just lost horribly.
Yes. So we had one game where we lost terribly because we just kept rolling damage after damage after damage. And while there are things to negate that damage.
Yeah, I would say more so than we knew at the time, because we hadn't played a whole lot yet.
Yeah, so
but
I think
it could be a poor first experience.
So
if that's what you did too.
Yeah, so I would say you don't be afraid to use those like heart redemptions, because it is you losing health. It costs you a lot in this game. You don't have, especially if you're playing a 2-player game, it's going to start halfway down. You only get to die 3 times and that's it. And then if you go too slow, you can't draw out any more darkness cards. You also lose. So you have to know that the dice are going to be swingy, and then how to counteract that, I would say.
Yeah. And if you just want to see how that works, we did a live stream and we played and won in about 25 minutes with a 2-player game. We got pretty lucky, I think, but like it gives you an idea for what this looks like in reality and how we can play together.
Definitely. So now let's go into components and theme. I want to talk about my favorite component that it isn't even part of gameplay, but it is so cool that it's sitting right here. I was like, this is honestly one of the coolest parts for me. They have a bag for each color of the characters. So
that are actually colored.
So Belle, we have Belle, Maid Marian, Violet, and Moana, and they're actually colored bags. If you're just not if you haven't played a lot of games, you're like, oh, well, what's the big deal? They don't I've never seen anyone do this. So it's really cool.
It is super cool. Yeah, and the characters are so cool. They got this crystalline figures that look kind of like gems. They're kind of low fidelity, not a lot of vertices. They look super cool. I really, really like those.
And the theming for each of the characters is really neat too. I like that as a girl, there's no aspect of usually the male character in the storyline. There's no aspect of them at all. It just all focus on the different female missions, and they went into Maid Marian, they went into some side lore that I didn't even know that we looked up that they brought out. So they really tried to stick to that theme and really focus on how amazing these women are.
It's certainly one we're going to keep around so that we can play with our daughter when she's ready to start playing games.
Yeah. So thank you so much to Ravensburger for providing us with a copy of this game so that way we could play it and then share it with all of you. That no other monetary value was exchanged for this review. But thank you guys so much for joining us. As you know, we love Disney games. If you found this because you love Disney games, I'll link a playlist down below. We've reviewed tons and tons of Disney board games, and there are so many out there, so I know you can find one that's right for you. Yeah, but thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your week.
Happy playing.